you just plug it into the.
I got it. Oh, I got
it.
I get you. Hold on.
Oh, sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean it to stop it abruptly, but I've already eaten into a large part of y'all's evening, as well as our evening. When you talk about a day, this has been a day, okay? So
216 of your closest friends.
Man, thank you guys. Thank you for waiting. Hang on, I got to organize two thoughts because I was not thinking of being not at home, so bear with me. Send. Okay, done. Forward to birds. How y'all doing, man? What's going on? Y'all having a good evening, TGIF? Oh my gosh. If this hasn't been the day of all days, if you guys have parents and they're a little older, when they have scares and go to the hospital, man, the very first thing on your mind is taking care of your parent. You know what I mean? Sorry about all the bad things, you know what I mean? But I hate, my mom comes first, you know what I mean? Mama comes first. Okay. You want to do our introductions? I'm sorry. What's going down? What's going on? What's going on? Is we live? Is you live? Is you live?
I am April BB.
And I am the humble.
Little stinky girl.
The humble Mr. Brando. And that's Daisy. She's gang automatically.
She gonna get the boo.
She gonna get kicked out tonight because I am a little too stressed and a little too everything to just, you know what I'm saying? I can't take it. You know what I'm saying, y'all? My nerves is shot today. Bear with me, y'all. My mom not doing so awesome, and we had to rush to the hospital, and it has just been an ordeal. You know what I'm saying? So please forgive me. I'm ready to get to this news, though. You ready to get to this news?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do this news, man. Let's do this news.
Are you gonna be 100% accurate? The shade. I need some glasses for the shade, baby.
Y'all, I'm only 87.9% accurate.
You know, if y'all don't know, April BB can be hella messy. Okay.
Man, Shady Faye.
Shady Faye is on the way. But is you 100% accurate today?
Today, I'm 100%. I'm batting 1,000.
But you know what? I'll say you about, overall, collectively, give your number.
My real number?
Your number.
Man, I'm probably up in the 80s, high 80s,
okay,
for real.
Okay.
I've missed some things, you know what I'm saying? I misread some keynotes, and I'm the first to admit it. Like, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
But you know what? Let me say this.
Uh-huh.
Because your wife's name is April, I can see how you was in love with April. That's all I'm going to say. But, okay, let me stop being Shady Faye. Let me take my crown off for a minute. Because no one in this game is 100% accurate.
Except for that.
Because I was waiting for that doubt. Look, wait a minute. Let me get there. I was waiting for that doubt. Let me have to read for filth like I read Sarah. Swipe. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
honey, ain't nobody 100% accurate in this game. Just remember that. But the 100% mark is when we run to the bank. And we ain't there yet. When we get there, that's the promised land. Because we all got the same goal in this investment.
Ain't
and
no shade.
to get to the bank.
Ain't no shade.
Get
Ain't
to
no
that
shade.
bank.
Get to a bank. Get to the bank. Go to the bank. Go to the bank. Get to the bank.
That part.
Learn the benchmarks. Do what's needed to get there. Get to that bank.
And it's okay if you're wrong, but the end result we all want is to get to the bank. All right, let me stop.
All right, is Iraq subject to U.S. sanctions and why? The State Department has placed Iraq, Yemen on a list of countries exposed to U.S. restrictions linked to security and assistance and commercial license for military equipment because of its lack of compliance with the law on the prevention of child recruitment. The reason why that's there is because they have all these ISIS and they have all these terrorist cells that are there. Not a lot of them, but those groups recruit younger people. You know what I'm saying? When those people recruit younger people, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I got to add something real quick. I did feel like that this was shade, though, when this was said about me. I'm not trying to get y'all to come to my paid group.
Oh, look, don't read the news. Oh, shady, the shady edition is over.
I'm through.
It's you live.
Man, I'm trying to get you to your wealthy spot, man. Come join me, man. I'm fooling with this money for real. I'm in this for real. Like my investments steep, my heart strong, my ability there, and I'm not basing this on nothing but fact. Stuff I can read. And if the facts lie to me, then I'm telling y'all lies, and I apologize now. But this is the information they give me, and the King of Guru gonna do what a King of Guru do, which is to be anti-guru, but be a teacher and be in this with you night after night, 80 to 100 hours a week. No 3-minute videos, no 2-minute videos, no 1-minute video. I bring you the news consistently. I'm better than CNN. Man, I'm better than CNN.
See what I started?
I'm MSNBC. See
what I started?
I am on fire. Man, put your cups down, man, and stand up. Gang, gang, gang.
Kangaroo.
Gang for life.
Okay.
Okay. Now
he's back. Now he's ready. He ready. I had to get him out that sunken place. We back. Okay, let's do it.
Mama. On the other hand, the report reduced Saudi Arabia's ranking, and that's no secret, and placed in the worst place for countries that fail to meet the minimum U.S. standards to combat human trafficking, joining Iran, China, North Korea, Venezuela, Syria, and Russia. Doesn't that list sound so familiar? Joining the list of the giant, most human trafficking countries in the world, Iran. Who's having a conflict with Iran right now? Didn't they just shoot down our droid?
That was a mistake.
Didn't they tell me we was going to war?
That was a mistake.
Didn't they tell me we was going to war?
Wait.
And what I tell everybody? 100%. Can I get 100%? I'm getting my bombs out. I'm 100. I'm floating on 100.
That was a mistake.
I'm betting on 100. I got 100. There will be no war because everybody knows that war is bad business at this point. The world's economy cannot take a war. And if we are forced into a war, trust me, it is calculated that the ultra rich will become ultra wealthy off of war because anybody knows that your economy rises during war, it doesn't go down. So if we go to war at this point with a country that's basically penniless, that's foolish on us. That'd be stupid. Let the region deal with the region. I keep stating that. Let the region deal with the region. I keep telling the King of Gurus that. Let the region deal with the region. You feel me? Now, you can get in these comments too. Now, this is interesting. Fayyad, the list of formation of the Iraqi government will be closed in full within 2 weeks. I told y'all that the cabinet was seated. Now, this is the crazy thing. When you accompany this article with the article that asked that the parliament extend the session for 30 days, you will understand why am I saying this. Iraq National Security Advisor Fayyad al-Fayyad revealed differences regarding the formation of the government, especially with regards to security ministries. He said in an interview with Russian Space, which is really odd, he stresses the existence of differences on some ministries, especially security in the Ministry of Justice, indicate the issue of resolving the monument belongs to the Prime Minister on the basis of understanding the political box. It should be noted that the National Security Advisor, Fayyad, heads a high-level delegation participating in the work of the 10th International Meeting of the Heads of Intelligence Services in the Russian Republic of Pateron. Now, why are they asking for an extension on the parliament? That's a different article, but this is the same thing. Don't you think that if you're going to have heads of state being your cabinet, such as Interior, Defense, Justice, all these things, don't you think they got to pass security clearance?
Of course.
Are they out there showing me down?
No. You good. Go on.
Right on.
I'm just trying to catch up.
Right on.
Because we've been so live, I haven't been able to engage with the audience.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue on. We're here for the news. Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So is it true that we got to wait to the end of July?
No. You guys, if they postpone the legislative thing, now the work really begins for them. Do you see what I'm saying? Because now the cabinet's seated, they can manipulate the rate, things can go up. If they do that, the reason why you would extend the legislative term because there's work to do. Now, these people are notorious for not doing any work. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if they're notorious for not doing any work, then we need these people to get to work and get to handle their business. One is getting them past through security. Number two would be probably getting them up to speed on all the affairs that are going on within the country. Number four would be introduce them to all the people they elected to work for them. I mean, think about this. When you start a new job, don't it take you basically 20 to 30 days to really get acclimated to your new position?
Depending on how bad it is, could take 6 months.
Right. So if you're inheriting a mess, possibly, what do you think?
It's going to take a minute.
Y'all, can I put my hair up, please?
You hot.
Can I put my hair up, please?
He hot.
Man, I'm hot. I'm hot in here. I'm sweating in the YouTube studio. I'm sweating because this news is so fire hot. No.
What happened?
The cabinet will be passed within 2 weeks after the legislative term, which is Saturday. So they're telling you now that these guys are already in play. I'm already telling you now that those people are in place. They know who they're going to be, okay? They can shout out whatever they want. Don't listen to what I tell you all the time. Listen to what I don't tell you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was watching news sources all super positive about the GOI not being done, but off the odds saying there's clearance for defense. Interior will be complete in 2 weeks. Put us the first week of July. Forward, no doubts the markets are going to surge until the G20 summit. Now, the reason why that's volatile is because everybody watched the Dow. But markets were going to go crazy when Trump said he was going to meet with the Chinese president. That showed stability in the marketplace. The Dow rose, right? Now, China trade talks, don't be surprised if they don't happen till this year. Now, I'm putting myself out there again. I can be wrong, but I don't see the United States talks to be done to the end of this year. Now, the markets can't sustain at this with little stability. The next surge to stimulate our investment as well as the U.S. economy would be what, Ms. Beebe? What would that stimulus be?
The RI.
No, it would be the RI, but more importantly would be the ISX. Could you imagine all of the people pouring all this money into the ISX? And just for food for thought, could you imagine all the global money that will pour into Iraq and how high it will soar on a platform that has outperformed most traditional stock platforms for the last 3 or 4 years? They've made 3 and 4 times their money. Can you say, boom?
Boom shakalaka.
That's huge. That's huge. So you got to think, our market's going to do this. Not just because of China trade, but if you have an emerging market come into play and you got all these new millionaires in play, people like George, people like Andy, and all those guys, they're gonna buy shares like it's going like a drunk Indian. No offense to Indians. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The idea here is, y'all, that the market's gonna go up and down. But the NASDAQ, don't worry about that. Worry about when the ISX launches. Can you imagine the value of the NASDAQ? London, Saudi, all these Emirate countries when the ISX gets launched? That platform's outperformed everybody. If you don't know, now you know. Putin says that the U.S. attack on Iran would be catastrophic. Now, even Putin recognizes that we've got a lot of stable stuff going on, but it would be foolish for us to enter into a war. I've said I don't want to see us enter a war. I don't see us entering into a war. The Middle East, that would trigger a surge in violence and a possible refugee exodus. So you think we got an Article 8 problem now? Imagine them having all war. Now, how you know that they're not going to go into war? Why did I just read another news article about half an hour ago that said they were removing another 30 to 40 blocks, concrete blocks, out of the green zone? Now, for a country to be threatened by terrorism and to be threatened by missile attacks, why are you making the green zone open and spacious and still seating your government?
I'll wait.
Can I hear fake news? That's the truth. The U.S. ambassador to Iraq, Matthew Toller, on Wednesday discussed increasing U.S. support for health. Remember, all these smaller countries that don't have super awesome GDPs, the main thing that they invest in is health. So medical stuff. They need education, infrastructure, and job creation in Iraq. Now, the meeting of the Ministry of Planning in a statement received the Office of Ministry, the U.S. ambassador delegation company, noting that the meeting discussed ways to strengthen joint relations. Now, it's funny that if they're out there in Iraq, and we're so mad at Iraq, we're going to sanction them to heck, right? Mm-hmm. But we're steadily offering them support in health, education, infrastructure, job creation. But in the next article that you read, you see we're going to put them under sanctions. Mm-hmm. Do you see where they put in a little bit of sugar to cover up all that? Hold on. Yes. Okay. Trump reveals the reasons not to carry out the U.S. airstrike on Iran. Simply put, he didn't want to do it because it's not the right time. Now's the time for vigilance. Now's the time to be cool. In a sea of all this disruption, someone's got to keep a level head. Trump is keeping the level head. Trump is doing what he needs to do. And you know what? I'm not even mad at Trump for not retaliating, because a hot-headed like me would have pushed a button on Iran and I'd have obliterated that place. You know that? I'd have knocked dust from them. Dust. But you know what? He said he wouldn't do it because it would have injured 150 people, civilians. Now, you got to think, 150 people, that casualty is not very high. We did a strategic airstrike on Syria, and it wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. People might have got hurt or injured, but you know what I'm saying? But he wouldn't do it. They stopped the operations against Iran. I was told that civilians would be killed, and the response was not proportionate to the downing of a plane. Now, it wasn't actually a plane, it was a drone. Now, stressing that Iran can never acquire nuclear weapons. So what does that tell you about stability within a terroristic state, which is Iran, and how it affects the region? A simple act of violence by a stupid little country will not provoke or stop the reinvestment. Because if Trump didn't go on there and level them after that because he said any aggression against U.S. interests, I would simply think that one of those drones is hundreds of millions of dollars. He would have tapped. You see what I'm saying? He didn't. Smarter heads, cooler thoughts, doing what he needs to do, listening to his advisors. Military people are military for a reason. A body will be very embarrassed by the failure to resolve the foul agency's Iraq. Yes, that's the other reason why this has to be done. Now, you're going to say to me, well, why does it matter now of all times that he has to get it done? Because Sauter's lit the fit under him. He's made promises. The candidates, now they didn't have any names. Now they got all the names. So now what is stopping you from doing what you got to do? So the next finger that everybody needs to be pointing at is not Mahandi. You know who that person should be? Who? No, Ali Al-Alaq. Why is Ali Al-Alaq still the central bank governor?
I don't know.
Because he's he's out there, I think. Disclosure of the names of the cancer, the ministries. It says it right here. Sources said in the press statement the differences are still ongoing. I don't believe that. This is total propaganda in my area of expertise. That now in the next sentence it says Fayyad will have these ministries settled in 2 weeks. But it says he pointed out the House of Representatives may discuss the nomination of Safana Altai, Ministry of Education. But we all know that the girl's going to get it Manandi or something like that. It is noteworthy that Prime Minister Abdul Mahdi gave Tuesday the political blocs a week to resolve their differences in the name of the council of the cabinet. Now, he didn't give them till Tuesday when all Fayyad said was done, and then they said they already got the news. Listen, it's done.
Okay.
Listen, it's done.
Okay.
Now, don't be surprised if you wake up Monday and the rate has not changed. Don't be fooled, okay? Stay steadfast and think, does the rate need to change today, tomorrow? Yes, of course it does. But more importantly, it needs to close out before the end of the month, before a new quarter. You see where I'm going with this? Mm-hmm. The new quarter starts. Don't you think that Dr. Shabibi said the best time to do this was the beginning of the year or the middle of the year? And now it's the middle of the year.
Yeah. That part.
Okay. Halabusi discusses with U.S. officials opening of Iraq to international markets. Why would you open up international markets if you don't have an international rate? My point exactly. Meeting discussed ways to strengthen trade relations between the U.S. and Iraq companies, expand the partnership between them, as well as the deployment of commercial agencies in line with economic policy of Iraq and the approach to opening up to all international markets. All international markets, and a statement by Halabusi press office. the entry of U.S. companies and investors in the fields of health. When I tell you health, energy, which is oil and gas, and what? You got to feed the people. That is agriculture. That, my friends, is called free floating economy. Now, the House of Representatives next Saturday, it's regular sessions. The agenda includes the completion of the vote of the cabinet, special grades, and at the end of the file, state administration by proxy. I can't get any clearer than that. The agenda includes the completion of the vote of the cabinet, special grades at the end of the file of the administration by proxy. No proxy, stable government. Related articles. So I figured this out the other night. They should be voting on those articles at about 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock our time. Tonight. Sure. Because they're 8 hours ahead of us, right? So by between 11 and 3 my time CST, they should be voting on those positions, correct? That should be done. When you wake up by 10 o'clock, we should have some banger news. Now, I read this once. I'm going to read it again because it was a rehash, but I thought it was important. Article 8 in the budget of 2019 of June 30th, 2019. Now, you can argue with me all you want. Why would you say Article 8? Why not Article 147 or Article 133 or Article 40 or Article 60? They said Article 8 in the budget. Now, does that mean the rate's in the budget? No. But we all know because of the FMA and FLM that they can manipulate that budget at any time. And it looks like these people want to establish, because of the article in transparent without prior political intentions, means that the competent authorities in the government and the House of Representatives must adopt important and fundamental criteria that begin first and foremost from the analytical and analytical view, results of work of the official in the position of agency while assuming the responsibility of the office, which he and his team to achieve national achievements and have a direct impact on achieving the central objective of the previous and current government within the hubs of the government programs approved by the House of Representatives. Now, in order for our talks to be clear and specific, the results of the bank, 3 main bodies that have played a prominent role in economic sphere and fighting corruption, that was another thing we said we had to do, namely the Central Bank of Iraq, the Office of Financial Supervision, and Integrity Commission should be evaluated. That means that they need to come under some type of scrutiny. You feel what I'm saying? Therefore, the analysis, evaluation, neutrality, and transparency of the government situations in particular is achieved by the ministry's economic institutions in Iraq from the point of view of specialists. And the facts and evidence it signals achievement confirm the Central Bank of Iraq proved to be the first economic institution through its important achievements in supporting the economy and the achievement of the economic steadfast and the pursuit of economic stability in accordance with the objective of the main strategy subsidiary and actually achieved. Now, the only way that they can actually finish the goal is now for them to reinstate the currency. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now that everything's stable, the government's in place, now you got to go ahead and flick it on. It always comes up kangaroos, baby. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is an important news day. The governor of the Central Bank of Iraq praised the contestants of the book. That was the one that Nasuri wrote, The Light at the Last Tunnel. I think that's very awesome. And that's the news for right now, y'all. So okay. I got some questions. Bring it. I'm red tag.
Do you think there will be more news tomorrow?
Yes.
Do you think that
I think there'll either be more news tomorrow or by Monday. By Saturday, they'd love to vote on stuff. Okay. This is what, when I was new to this investment, I was fooled in the belief that all the news came out on Wednesday. And you know what? Every Wednesday, every weekend, I would get way up. I'd get way down by Monday. Tuesday, I would stand by the platform and try to just watch it. But you know what? Nothing really ever came out on Wednesdays and Thursdays. That was more stuff that was in print, right? But the voting actually takes place on Saturdays. They always vote on Saturdays.
So do you think you'll see some news tomorrow?
Yeah. I expect to see the cabinet seated tomorrow. I fully expect. And if they're not, I believe something happened.
Will you go live either here on Patreon tomorrow if there is some?
If they're seated tomorrow, I definitely will go live.
Okay.
If they're seated Sunday, I'll go live.
So, question for the people: where will you go live at?
I'll go live both. Okay. I'll do a special podcast just for Patreon. I'll do a special podcast just for YouTube, just for my Kangaroo gang, because they are special to me. Okay. I'm not withholding no information, y'all. I ain't stingy with the info. I'm gonna bring it because that's what brought me to you, and that's what brought me to the dance. I am here to serve. Okay. I just think that one in.
Now, the other thing is, somebody asked this question. When the RI happens, will you still be doing YouTube?
Yes. I'm still going to be doing YouTube. I'm going to take you guys to my next currency, which is probably, I'm going to really monitor Vietnamese dong. I'm going to be heavily looking at the rupiah. I'm going to be heavily looking at the real. I'm going to be heavily looking at Venezuela, South Korea. I'm going to be heavily looking at every market that fits a specific criteria that me and the Kanga Guru, my brother, Mr. Frazier, and I have developed, which is in Pempe, countries that have been invaded, companies that have been taken over, countries that all of a sudden pegged to the dollar, and then from there. And that's where I'm going to take the channel. Because my theory is this, and I told you guys this many shows ago, if the formula was created once, then that can be duplicated over and over and over. And every single market that needs to be emerging, I'm going to introduce a new Kanga Guru to it, and we're going to flip this fiat USD into some major cash, okay? So this ain't the only rodeo. There's a bunch of countries. The IMF was looking at like 56 countries at one time to reinstate their currency and revalue it. Now, reinstatement's a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Now, do you want to go over this one more time? Because people keep saying reinstatement, revaluation. Which one are we looking at for Iraqi dinar?
The Iraqi dinar is a reinstatement. The RV is a guru trash term from people that don't understand it from the IMF. They are reinstating their currency.
So what does that mean exactly?
That means that before the war, before they got taken over by the United States, okay, they actually got took over. They depegged from the dollar, mass inflation hit. I mean, excuse me, depegged from the dollar, they're already depegged, sorry. They invade. They go in. The dinars basically are worthless now. All of a sudden, now they've got to peg it to something. So since the country's been taken over, they pegged it to the dollar. When they did that, that was when they got their banking and stuff going again. Dr. Shabibi worked the IMF. He said, and this is what he said, I want to reinstate the currency back to post-war times, which was approximately $3.22. So this is a reinstatement. Now, he said he's going to account for, you know, all of a sudden the financing. He's going to account for the assets. He's going to account for, you know, oil, all that type of stuff too. So that's an inflationary measure. So that's where we come up with that number. Now, you got to understand that we know that from Pempe, when he took that ARAP basket of currencies times the current, whatever it was, 1 point whatever, times that by 2.5, that's how he came out with a rate. I'm not thinking the far eight's that far off, but I do think you got to take into consideration a couple things. Number one, inflation. Their inflation is low. Number two, they're not pegged to the dollar. They're pegged to a basket of currencies. They are going to be the next exotic currency of the world, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong. I'll probably get dogged for this one. But in my opinion, you want to hear my words? I feel like they're going to be bigger than Kuwait. They're better than Kuwait. They got more assets than Kuwait. They are the next big thing about to happen. Y'all want to call me? Y'all want to call me? And Pimpin, you guys, let these other newbies call me. Me and Pimpin going to have a conversation here in just about 10 minutes. Then I'm going to round the show up. But if you guys want to call me, you can call me.
Let me post the number. Give me 1 second. Because I don't know.
Yeah, Kenneth Voss. Yeah, I offer advice about strategies. I'm doing a video series right now called The Bid Hedge for Patreon. But that's for Patreon. Because of the scrutiny and because of the criticism that I receive from YouTube, I don't do that on YouTube. You know, when I do stuff on YouTube, people post my work picture with my boss talking about I'm a mattress salesman. You damn right I'm a mattress salesman, and a really good one too. Really good. Really good. Should see what I sleep on.
What was I gonna say? Oh, we did a video earlier today on the Big Hedge Part 2. So
Deuces.
If you are a member of Patreon, go check that video out.
And y'all, you know what? It's not to be on a platform that's paid. It's be on a platform with like-minded individuals that have a vested interest. In my business, we call that skin in the game. Everything that's free ain't good, and everything that's good ain't free. You feel me? Okay?
Sam D says he had a dream last night that it was 1-to-1.
I have that dream all the time. I have a dream that's higher than that.
I had a dream. Remember, I told you that in my dream, I was in a room with a. We got a call.
Oh. Henderson, Virginia, shout out. Hey, what's going on?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, what's going on?
Is you live, whore?
Man, I'm so live. I'm so live.
read my comment, but that's all I want
What
to
up,
shout
Sammy?
out.
What's up,
Shout
Sammy?
out my boy Sammy. Shout out Virginia.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, man.
Oh, you know
TGIF.
what? Actually, I live in Tennessee, but this is my work phone from Tennessee. Don't tell nobody. But y'all have a good night.
Man, you too, big dog. Have a good one, okay? TGIF to you and your family. Thanks for staying up late.
All right, holla at you.
Holla.
Bye.
Bye. How many people do I think that are investing in Iraqi dinar? I believe there's about 2 million people. The average dinar holder holds basically 250,000 dinar or less. There's a couple whales around. There's a couple people that have a lot more. But for the big factor of it, most people don't have that much dinar. Now, there's a bunch of studio gangsters out there. There's a bunch of keyboard hitmen out there that always claim to have a brick. A brick's 25 million. But you know what? There's only so many billion dinar out there. Everybody can't be a brick.
Right.
I'm not. I won't lie. I'm good enough to get healthy, but I ain't no brick. Okay? So it will have to be 1-to-1 for trade reasons? Absolutely not. You guys got to understand something. Their import and export is not based upon the dollar. It's based upon the petrodollar. So their buying and selling of their goods has nothing to do with the currency. You have a strong currency to keep the predators away from your country. You see what I'm saying? It's too expensive to come there and buy up your land, use your people. That's why you create this huge infrastructure. Iraq is the center of trade for not only the One Road, One Belt initiative, but it's the center of trade for basically the whole Asia from Europe. So they have to be strong to keep the predators out.
How much constitutes a whale?
A whale, in my opinion, is 25 million dinar and up.
Really?
Yeah, because you can figure even if they bought it at $500, that's a bunch.
Well, and like right now, dinar goes for like a mil, an M, 900 to 1,000 on average.
So you 25 in it? Think about it.
Now,
25?
Now, but
Let's just say you're 15.
it wasn't always that price. If you bought back in the heyday, right? You could pick up an M.
The cheapest I ever bought an M for when I've been buying it was $800 or $700. $700. I think I paid like $725.
Oh, there goes Jason.
That's Jason. Hey, Jason.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hey, what's up, Jason?
Mr. B.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Jason?
Hey, Miss April. Are we ready for this or what?
So ready. Oh my gosh, I'm so ready.
Man.
Wow, you're on fire tonight.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm touched. I'm very touched.
First of all, I want to say prayers for your mom.
Thank you.
Hope everything will be okay.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
All right.
She'll be okay.
Thanks for putting on everything.
Yeah. So what else you want to talk about, Jason?
Well, no, everything you're saying is spot on. I'm just excited for the cab tomorrow, and the ISX. That is a huge thing that came up.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's totally awesome.
Jason, hold on a
Like what you
second.
said, everybody.
Jason, hold on a second. I'm gonna try. Well, never mind. They hung up. Keep going, big dog. Keep going, big bro. I was gonna add him. You know what I mean? I was gonna add him to you, but I can't.
No worries. And those are all the signals are coming out. If anybody's not really paying attention to what we're paying attention, then I don't know what to say to them.
Right.
Because this is not hidden at all anymore. Everything is out, and it's not even like out there. It's like going all over the world, and it's coming out. Not even like every day. It's like every half of the day, new stuff comes out all the time now.
Yeah.
Jason, hold on. I'm gonna try to add this caller. Hold on.
You know how to do it?
Hello?
Call from Nicole. To accept, press.
Nicole?
That's me.
Hey, Nicole, I'm gonna try to add Jason in and you guys together.
Okay.
Hey, Jason?
Yes, sir.
Nicole's there, so let Nicole speak real quick, okay? Go ahead, Nicole. What do you want to
Hi,
say?
Nikki.
Hey, how you guys doing? Okay.
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
I'm on.
Me too.
I'm in there like swimwear.
Hey, Mr. Brando. Hey, Miss April. How
Hey
you
there,
guys doing?
Nicole.
Hey. Okay, I have a scenario in my head that I have been running through, and I want to know what Miss April and Mr. Brando are going to do when this happens. So, my theory is that when the RI happens, it's going to happen just like you said, sometime at night on Saturday, which will be, and so that's going to put them, they're 8 hours ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the entire world is going to have availability for exchange, have access to the RI before United States citizens can touch it.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do on that Sunday when you know everybody else is benefiting and you guys just chilling like villains in the background?
Preparing. One, I'm already knowing I'm calling in to work on Monday because we got an appointment at the bank.
You know what I'm gonna do? Do you know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna finish my work day. I'm gonna finish my work day like normal. I'm gonna come home, eat dinner with my wife Sunday night, and I'm not gonna get overly excited until I'm at the bank. Now, when I go to the bank, I'll probably be a plum full for the first exchange. I'll probably be there like a little kid, like, so what that button mean? What you doing there? What you doing with this? What you doing that? And you know I'm gonna be recording it. You know I'm gonna put that on film. I'm gonna be on it.
Mr. Brando, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna go and jump on every mattress that's in that store.
My boss gonna be like, what is wrong with him? I'm like, boing, 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 boing.
Exactly.
I always said that I love my job. I've been doing it for 23 years. I love the people I work with, and I want those people to be prosperous. And a lot of the people that have worked with me are invested in the currency. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do something stupid like tell everybody to kiss my butt. I don't want that. I want to leave like I came in, with honor, being humble, and with a sense of, you know what, big guy? Tell my boss, who's a big-time whale, I'm going to say thank you for everything you taught me. But you know what? Pretty soon when you're a little birdie, you got to throw me out the nest. I got to fly. So it's time for me to fly. Huh.
And see, it might be hard for me to walk away if something happens next week for me.
Well, Miss BB,
walk away from the job.
Yes, from the job.
Y'all don't know this, but Miss BB just got a big time position with a college, being over grants and other. What is it called? Don't say the title, but it's over grants and what else?
Yeah, grants and accounting.
Yeah, so she's up for a big time job. So you know what I'm saying? So like her this blessings upon blessings upon blessings. So I think you gotta honor the blessing by being respectful. Does that make sense?
And so far, I like the people. Like I truly like the people. Like they were so great when I met with them. It was a panel interview, and it felt like a conversation and not an interview. So sometimes you go through stuff in life. You all know I just lost my father. It's been a rough, month. And I'm good.
I know you are. I'm ready you for me, not you. Yeah. Touch my eye.
But sometimes, you weather the storm, and when you come out through it, there's rainbows. So I feel like this is a way for my dad talking to me through heaven.
Huh. And you know what he would tell you next? He would tell her to go to the horse track. This is big and real. You don't want to go to the horse track, lay about a long yard on the horse number 4.
And let me tell you about my father. Like he retired in Vegas. So
Saturday, so I'll lay some money down for you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, so
that's all. That's just running through my head, that scenario, and I was wondering how you guys will handle it, because I'm gonna be like, wow, I don't even know what to think. You know what? I'm just sitting back. I'm gonna be patient and wait, and I know it's gonna be good.
Cameron, there's no 800 numbers. If somebody gives you 800 number, run like hell. But I will tell you this, and Jason and I talk about this all the time. What, Jason, say that?
You might actually call me, because we're closer to Asia, and also as far as Asia connecting to the Middle East. And our daily stories, right?
And Jason will tell you in chat, the very first thing I basically tell him every morning is, has Vietnam signed any new trade agreements? Has Vietnam signed any trade agreements? That's all I want to know. Because if he tells me that a major trade partner enters Vietnam right after this happens, I'm going to double, triple, quadruple down on a certain little Asian country that's going to take me from a multi-M to a big-time B. And that ain't Mr. Brando. Yeah. I'm going to tell you like that down.
Well, so you're going to pile dong on top of dinar.
That myth about double dipping, you don't want to see which finger I'm going to shoot up when they say I can't double dip. I'm going to be a dip like them little dip candies. I'm going to dip it till I can't dip no more. But I'm going to tell y'all like this. When you guys get to that point where you're able to be financially secure, to be not a slave to your debts, act like you already are a millionaire. Hold your head up high, stay humble, stay graceful, and also remember this. The sign of a person is not how much money you have. The true sign of a person, because money is going to tell you who you exactly are. The sign of a true individual is once you have money, how do you treat those that don't have it? And I'm going to leave it with that. Act like you've had it before.
Amen. Amen. Okay. I love it. All right, you guys. Look, I'm not going to hold up the show, but I love your show. I love talking to you. And hey, Cake and Guru Crew.
Hey, LBC.
Hey, gang, gang.
Gang, gang. Oh, dang. Bye-bye. Now, Roger, someone named Roger was supposed to call in.
Oh, does he have the number?
I don't know. Can somebody give him my phone number, please?
I posted it out there, but let me do it again.
And y'all, that's the difference between this platform. I can't speak for other platforms. I'm involved in this platform with people like Miss BB, with people like Jason. I am not an ass. I am a person. Now, Miss BB, look at me stupid.
I'm trying to figure out what he's about to say.
I am the type of person that I have believed my whole life that I was going to have money like this. So when it happens, it's not going to be a shock to me. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
I already feel like I'm rich in so many other ways. So now just having a couple bucks. So you know what? So I might eat a little bit more grouper. Or I might eat a little bit more sea bass. Or I might eat a little bit more free range chicken. I might buy an island. I don't know.
Okay.
But I will always be humble. Hold on, let me add in Pimpe because I know he's chomping at the bit to get in this bene. What up, big dog? Hold on, let me add you. Okay, I got them both on here. Go ahead, fellas. Y'all take over. I'm done.
No, you know, I was saving my toys. I told you I picked up earlier today for the bank. I just been rolling around in them. So I'm having a field day. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big-time coin collector.
Yep.
So I just got lucky today, and I was in the bank, and this lady was turning in a coin collection that she's had for 50 years. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And my bank manager, usually they're not allowed to do this, but my bank manager allowed me to just buy the coin at face value from the lady. She wanted to give them up. So I have like my whole bed is scattered with a bunch of nifty coins. And I'm just trying to not go crazy looking at all of them. So I'm having a field day with those.
What else is, hey, can I ask you both, Pimpe and Jason, a quick question? And this is for real.
Yeah, right.
What is your train of thought if it doesn't happen? I mean, a reinstatement by Monday. What's your train of thought then? What's your real target dates? Mine is the end of the month. I've always thought before the quarter ends, we will see a change. But what is you guys kind of your thought process?
I'm the same. I'm the same with the end of the month because remember that the quarter's ending. The financial quarter is ending, and they're from all the research that was done. And I'm also gonna, allude to the deletion of the 3 zeros with that. They're done. That budget is ready.
Hold on.
It's ready, and it doesn't.
Jason, hold on. I just heard a comment. Thomas Over says, why does anyone think that Vietnamese dong will come out above 5 cents when they're in direct competition with China and China is devaluing their currency? The answer to that is a little orange guy named Mr. Trump that says if you're going to do business, you're not going to have a huge trade deficit. So they have to come out at least 50 cents to $1 to stay on par. That's why. It's simple. It's not genius mathematics here. Huh?
Can I also explain that one, Ben?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. They need to understand, and they also need to do the research. Remember, when they brought out the list of the manipulated currencies, Vietnam was ready to be on that list. The U.S. Treasury did an audit on all these countries, including Vietnam. They know that Vietnam was doing that, and Vietnam admitted to that problem. Also, they need to understand that Vietnam does free trade. They're not really connected to China as being a communist country. They are free to do trade with anybody they please. So they need to also understand that.
that, like you said, the value is going to go up because of the fact that, you know, that's one, you need to look at, you know, the criteria that they use, the instruments to actually determine the manipulated currencies. And one of them was actually matching the import-export ratio of their value, and they got caught with that.
Mm-hmm.
And they also need to uphold the two different. There's one act that was done in 1988 and one in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
All these countries that have devalued currencies were not following the rules, and they got caught.
That's changing.
And it's
Trump has put the foot down.
This presidency actually stepped up to the plate and said, "Hey, stop doing this because you're not doing equal trade with the world, not just the United States, everybody." They need to do the research and understand that.
Okay, someone just put out there, I still think it's going to come out at 5 cents. I'm not going to call out the person because I don't think they
That
meant
was
it.
for Dawn?
Yeah, I don't think they meant it in a negative sense. I'm going to tell you like this.
Oh, I'll go with 5 cents.
Okay, can I tell you all this? If the Dawn comes out at 5 cents, I'm so chunky, my sleeves on chill. You feel me? At 5 cents, I'm chunky. I'm obese with it. And listen, if someone said they want to buy a new white tee, yeah, hell yeah, you know it's polo. Yes, I'm on fire tonight. I'm on it. I'm on one.
Okay, before we move back on
now, the dinar is easier to get a rate on because we know it's a reinstatement and not a revalue.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing exactly the same thing that happened in Kuwait. Real quick though, because I got to comment on two things. Pac-Man, believe it or not, I do have a 1943 copper, a real one. I do. I have one in my collection. It's hard to get. He knows what that means. And real quick, somebody want to know about July the 7th? Here's my thought, right? What I think is going to happen this weekend is they're going to finish the cabinet this weekend is what's going to happen. And any time after that, between then and then the end of the month, God willing, man.
God willing.
I think it's shortly after that we're going to see it happen.
And y'all know me. I don't ever give no dates, and I never talk rates. I won't talk rate, but I will talk dates. I'm feeling good. I can't say it's going to happen. You know what? This is a speculative shoebox investment. I could be very well wrong. And you know what? I'll be crucified if I am wrong. And you know what? So be it. I'll be wrong. But I will tell you this. If I am wrong, at least I had all my ducks in a row. Nobody else can tell you why they believe a date. They just say it should be this weekend, next weekend. I'm 100% accurate.
Well, you'll be, instead of 89% accurate, we'll take you down to 80%.
What? No, if I'm 89% accurate, I will be 85.7.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
I gotta say something.
Wait, Kippe, don't say now. I got a question. So when the reinstatement happens, can the rate go back down?
Yes, it can go down.
The rate can go either direction.
Yes.
Here's the thing you got to take in consideration. Think about where the GDP is. Think about where their inflation is. Think about all their trade agreements. I don't think it's going to go backwards. Remember, we talked about the formula was based on the Arab dinar. That's the highest it could go.
Right.
We know it's going to be at least it reinstated at $3.22. I just can't imagine it going down for any reason. Now, I do want to address a couple of things because people in my group asked me about this. It's all related. They said, why wouldn't they delete the 3 zeros? The reason for that is this is not like Zimbabwe where the inflation was so ridiculously high that the 3-0 lock made sense. Okay, that's not what's going on in Iraq. Iraq is going to do a reinstatement just like the Kuwaiti dinar is. They were invaded just like Kuwait was. The value of the dinar never changed. It stays the same, but it gets pegged to the dollar. They do that for the purpose of keeping the economy stable and the people stable. They are there now. They're just going to reinstate. And the worst case scenario, we're looking at 322. That's the worst case scenario.
Okay, I got 2 comments real quick.
The deletion of the 3 zeros is not what people think. The deletion of the 3 zeros was actually done by the financial management law. That already has been done. The way it's been done is that they took the rate or the budget that they had a long time ago, which was over $135 trillion. By law, the CBI, along with the officials from the government that are working with officials in the CBI, are given the authority to delete the zeros off of the trillion. They brought it down to the billion, and they brought it down even lower into the billions in reference of recalculating not only the future budget, but remember when I was talking about there was an official going about recalibrating all the prices of goods and services in the country, as well as the surplus of oil. Thank God they have a surplus of oil. because now they recalculated everything and they are ready to go. That's what the 3-0 deletion is.
Excellent point, Jason. I got two comments.
Yep.
Wada Heckman, I do agree with you.
Wait. What?
Wada Heckman said not higher than 50 cents. I agree on that. 50 cents is at my peak. My prayers and all my wishes are $1 on Vietnam. Don't get me twisted. I'm not talking about a rate now. I'm just talking about numbers. 50 cents is my like, oh gosh, I'm about to like go home and like me and Miss BB gonna dance naked in the house, because if I get 50 cents on my dog, I am dancing on the ceiling. It will be no higher than $1 in my opinion. Now,
are you doing that live on TV?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be Bucky Wakanda naked on here.
No, we not.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're gonna get all kinds of spam that night.
The only dong we might show is some Vietnamese dong.
You gotta get some money for it,
Now, I want to tell you guys this. Vietnam will review in 6 months on their currency. So that tell me they will make a move before then. Pac-Man, they will make a move before then only, and if only they have new trade partner deals that sign up. Besides Samsung, that's already been there for years, that is their major trade partner. I'm off dong now.
Okay, so let me get back to Dinar.
That 6 month deal is just a report that has nothing to do with what they're trying to do as far as revalue.
Yeah, now the dong is not a reinstatement; it's a
revalue.
Now, hey fellas, can we continue this on the Patreon when we're done here? We're about done in a few seconds.
Well, I want to go back to the dinar for one quick second.
Yeah.
So, because I want people to understand. So, somebody said, Corey said they called their bank and they don't exchange dinar. So, can you explain?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Right. So, can you explain to them, number one, why they don't exchange dinar right now?
Right.
And two, what will happen when it becomes reinstated?
Okay, y'all, listen to me on this. When you have a currency and it's not recognized internationally, meaning that I can't buy it from a bank because it's under restriction, okay?
Yep.
Now, when those restrictions are lifted and it's accepted internationally, any bank that deals in foreign currency will take that money in, deposit it in our central bank, right, which is our Federal Reserve, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you will be able to do with that money as you please, okay? So, yeah, if you call Bank of America right now, like a crazy person, and say, I got $450 million dinar, I want to exchange it, they're going to laugh at you because you're not paying attention. That money's not, it is not internationally instated. So you've got to wait till it's instated. That's why it's called a speculative investment.
And it's called a reinstatement.
Correct. It's a reinstatement. That's why I named this show The Status of, get it? The status of where we're at in the reinstatement of the Iraqi dinar, IQD.
Okay.
I just gotta throw this out there. Bitcoin's at 10,700.
We don't talk Bitcoin on here.
That. And then there was one other thing.
Gold and silver,
Hold on, no.
right?
Jack Smith just said full cabinet vote has been extended. No, Jack, the full cabinet has not been extended. They extended the legislation sector, the legislation, what do you call that? Session, but it is not reinstated. It is not reinstated.
Let me say this real quick. And the other thing that Mr. Brando is going to work on for next week's video is the how to check your currency.
Yes,
don't go into detail because we're not talking about it here. It's for Patreon. But I want to throw that out there, how to check your currency. And go ahead.
And how to do it correctly. Okay, I'll do that on Patreon. Join me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Mr. Brando for that video. I did a video earlier with Miss BB and Kevin Wealth. Shout out to Kevin Wealth.
And we talked about the big hedge too.
Yeah, we talked about Dong. We talked about Binance. We talked about a cocktail. We had a conversation before we were interrupted. And it was...
You're talking about XRP, that's about it, 46 cents.
There you go. Hey, y'all, look. I love y'all. It's Friday night. You just got paid.
No, we didn't. Oh, and so you guys, in about 30 minutes, I'll always leave the link in the corner of the screen on how to join Patreon and a couple of videos at the end. So
right-hand corner, it's right up there.
Right.
All you got to do is touch it, join, be a part of the crew. You want to hear about strategy. You want to hear about investment opportunities. You want to talk news all the time. You want to talk fiat. You want to talk currency.
And
well, if we're switching over right now, let's talk about gold and silver. We started to get into that earlier.
No.
But I want to tell everybody out there, thank you for all your well wishes, your prayers, everything. We really appreciate it, okay?
Sylvie, you know my French sucks. I can't read that.
Did you knock it over?
Okay.
He said it's been in it too long and don't care if you're right or wrong. Thank you, Steve. You guys have a great night. We're going to take this to Patreon. We're going to take it to Patreon, so join up on the crew. You want to talk about gold, silver? You want to talk to Jason? You want to talk to Pimp? You want to talk in an avenue less than about 5,000 people in there? Join me on Patreon in about 5 minutes. We're going to continue this conversation. Jason, you going to be there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Uncle Lou, you going to be there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, man, let's get this party started.
All right. Good night, y'all.